Everybody, it's Invictus. Time for another Eat and Run here, the Binding of Isaac Victor Repentance series. Happy Monday, Mosh Pit. You all did it. We hit 180 on the like streak counter. Thank you all very much for making it possible over the weekend, which means that this weekend we're going to be doing the first Rebirth Run reaction video, which I'm going to be doing either Saturday or Sunday. When this week progresses, I'll let you all know. It's probably going to be Sunday, but again, I will let everybody know. It's going to be a lot of fun. I know that some people weren't too jazzed about like a reaction like streak goal, but I promise you, I think that it's going to be a great time for everybody. And we're also going to stream and hang out with the Mosh Pit afterwards, so definitely tune in for that. Also, check out this meme of the day brought to you by Rhombus McDongle. Great name, by the way. Title thread was me when I see today's thumbnail. Again, coming from episode 831. And yes, I do appreciate the fact that Rhombus McDongle did put the thumbnail behind the windowsill there in this King of the Hill scene. I did like that. And also, of course, they put Mosh Pit and Little Sissy on the chalkboard. And also the Sharp Straw inclusion was also quite hilarious. So thank you very much, Rhombus McDongle, and everyone who upvoted that gem. King of the Hill memes never get old. So let's hop on in here and celebrate the next like streak, which again, I will be talking about probably this weekend. Okay, CJ is going to be 6 Zulu, November Kilo, Tango Yankee Bravo, November. We've got good tiers, good damage, terrible movement speed, and we're also starting on Curse of the XL, everyone's favorite. Yeah, this could be okay. We do have Guppy's Collar, which, you know, starting with a Guppy item, it could be worse. It could be a worse way to begin. Like, we could have, like, Guppy's Tail and no keys. Like, that would be pretty bad. Yeah, Guppy's Tail is pretty much the worst one, I would say, to start with. I mean, Guppy's Collar is, you know, in an ideal world, like, we hopefully would never, ever have to use Guppy's Collar, but it's nice to know that it's there. Guppy's Collar has bailed us out a couple of times over the course of Repentance, so, yeah, who knows? Who knows? Maybe it will save us today. But yeah, I was super jazzed to see that we did cross 3,000 likes on this weekend's videos. Very awesome. I do appreciate everyone. And like I said, I know that some people were like, Rebirth, a reaction video is kind of lame, blah, blah, blah. And I mean, some people may feel that way, but I promise you it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to watching the very first Rebirth run on top of hanging out with the Mosh Pit afterwards. You know, doing some, you know, we'll be playing a little bit of Isaac and, you know, just having fun, just hanging out. Finally get a golden key here, and we are going to get hopefully the compass. With one key, probably, maybe if we're lucky, we can get the money out of one of these golden chests here. There we go. I was going to Hangman card, which is kind of useless here. Well, not useless, but it's redundant with how to jump. We're going to use how to jump here. Now, what I did was the cardinal rule number 1 not to do in this run, or this room, I should say. Which is destroy the mulligans before killing the gapers, as they will actually be more dangerous than the gapers themselves. Obviously, because you unleash all those flies and they walk basically right towards Isaac. At the same time, wow, that was one. Whatever. Anyway, yeah, it's a dangerous room. Don't do what I did. Just need 4 cents here. I don't want to bomb the donation machine. We do get 2 cents in the item room for the host hat as well, which is kind of nice. The host hat is going to give us bomb immunity, which is very, very good. We're looking for our 15 cent, and we got it. Let's go back into Ye Olde Shopperino and get the compass. And then that way we can decide whether or not we have anything else of worthwhile note to get on this first XL floor. Now, again, I'm not going to get into XL floors because we've talked about XL floors crazy much as they've been showing up quite often. You know, people will say that XL floors are just, there's no big deal. Some people will agree with me and say that, you know, they are kind of a big deal depending on the situation, obviously. But yeah, starting on with an XL floor here on floor 1 and 2, it comes down to whether or not we're able to take our Devil Deal, and currently we are not because we don't have the HP for it. I would have if we didn't get schmooved by the Burning Spider. So here's the hoping that we get some kind of all stats up here from Ragman. I'm not going to use our final bomb for this here. Of course, explosion immunity means that we can walk freely into explosions and bombs and stuff, but that doesn't mean that you should. I think that it teaches you bad habits. You should still stick a safe distance away from explosions unless absolutely necessary. But early explosion immunity could lead to some fun things. We'll see. Nice tears up and shot speed up, but unfortunately we are not going to be able to do much with our Devil Deal scenario. Saw that one coming. Pretty Plum. Baby Plum, whatever the hell your name is. It never ceases to amaze me how she manages to get a hit on us. It's truly remarkable. I am going to check to see if we can get anything in here. I wasn't expecting it, and we can't. So, only reason why I did that was because we have a guppy item, so who knows. All right, so as you can see here, we can see the entire map. Well, for the most part, anyway, we can see the key rooms of the map. And that tells us that we can at least find any sacrifice room that we need to get, we're going to be able to get, which is kind of neat. Now, being able to play those sacrifice rooms, on the other hand, yeah. I mean, I'd like to, but again, that requires an enormous amount of HP, which we do not have, or scapular, which again, we do not have. So, but going on to last week's question of the episode here, I actually put it on the wrong window. It was the Dark Judas Rises episode, which, by the way, huge shout out once again to my artist Alex Agramonopoulos, who does a phenomenal job with these thumbnails. Usually I'll give him an idea, and in this case scenario, not all the time though, Alex does come up with some original ideas of his own for thumbnails, but for that one in particular, I showed him obviously a poster, one of the movie premiere posters from The Dark Knight, and I thought it was pretty cool, and Alex ran with it. I was like, hey, do this except make it Dark Judas, and he was like, see, and I'm like, see, and then we high-five each other. It was an amazing thumbnail, so definitely check it out. Again, it's going to be one of those, eventually we're going to be doing a poll, whenever we have enough thumbnails, probably like 200 or so, we're going to do like a sort of like a playoff battle royale of thumbnails for like, you know, to possibly turn into maybe t-shirts or not trading cards, but prints or something like that we'll, you know, then sign, and we'll figure it out. So anyway, going over to last week's question of the episode here, when you use Judas's shadow, it's a very simple question because obviously it was very relevant to last week's episode, with it being a Dark Judas episode. And the most upvoted comment came in here from King Sims 3832, said, just whenever I feel Popeye, I don't know what Popeye means, when I look at, whenever I want to feel Popeye, when I look SpongeBob trying to lift the dumbbells. Thank you, King Sims, for that insightful comment, and everyone who upvoted that one. The second most upvoted, actually that was the second most upvoted comment. The most upvoted comment came in from Ethan T42, who said, I think it's always a good plan to try to use it to get a boss rush or to take multiple Devil Deal items, but if you need the damage and don't have a lot of HP, then pop it right away. And yeah, that's kind of like the general strategy I would suggest when you're talking about Judas's Shadow. It's an item that's always going to be good for you. You know, oh, wow. Wow. Sure. Before we take that, let's go over and see if we can get if we can get a guppy item in the Devil Deal, assuming that we get one here, which we probably won't, but if we do, we can guarantee guppy, because that will be our third guppy item, even if it's a repeat guppy item. And now we can just simply buy the treasure map, so this doesn't even matter. But yeah, that's the general like rule of thumb, in my opinion, when it comes to Judas's Shadow. Just use it. It's situational, just like everything in Isaac. But you know, using an extra life is definitely something that like is. It's not a decision that's done lightly for me. You're talking about run security and, you know, possible, you know, streak saving plays versus, you know, we need a little bit of damage on this run out of like sheer inconvenience. I don't know what's going on with us getting hit by Widow and Arachnid, but or Wretched. Also, why is she spawning so many spiders? Is it me, or is she spawning just an absolute butt ton of spiders in here? Man, you need to get your babies under control here, because this is starting to get kind of annoying. Thank you. Inexcusable amount of damage, but also a ridiculous amount of spiders in there, and we didn't get our Devil Deal as I predicted. Woo! All right, and our third and final upvoted comment from last week's episode came from McDazzle, who said, "It is a top-tier item. I always consider offing myself whenever I have the chance, just because he is so dang good," and that is true. I'm gonna go ahead and buy Treasure Map because I have a feeling we're gonna need Diplopia for possibly HP, but yeah, giving us a Curse the XL, going into a 68% W chance, and then not getting it is kind of a middle finger to us here, game. But we all know that's what you love doing. All right. So if we take some damage here, we can get into the boss trap room, and we most likely will take damage here. Not deliberately, but it's going to just happen anyway, I think. As we don't have... I mean, our damage, 3.66, is higher than average damage. But it's not... Yep, there it is. It's not sufficient for us to be, like, just destroying things. Yes, our tears rate is high right now, but we need more. We need a lot more right now. 3.66 is not going to be... sufficient enough soon. I am going to take meat, which is going to be an HP upgrade as well as a damage upgrade, so shout out to the game for listening to us there at least. But again, this is not enough to take a Devil Deal, which is the reason why we have Diplopia. But now the question becomes, are we going to hold on to Diplopia too long, or is the game going to give us a chance to actually use it? So having the map compass effect early is still very, very advantageous, as we don't have to worry about going into any doing full clears or anything like that. Plus, of course, we get Curse of Loss, which is going to undoubtedly happen, I'm sure. But for right now, being able to see the entire map is pretty nice. Yeah, you have no HP there, Peep. I'm happy that we got a double deal, or a, not a double deal, but a damage upgrade. The HP, of course, is going to help out a lot as well. Boss trap rooms really are worth it if you can make it happen most of the time. But you have to do some damage evaluation, whether or not it's worth, just not damage evaluation, but just risk assessment. Because you don't necessarily want to be putting yourself into a dangerous situation for, like, a range upgrade, or like just a singular non-damage up stat up. If it's just going to be like lunch or breakfast or something like that, then you really have to kind of like assess whether or not it's worth it or not to do that, based on the level of the boss that you're about to fight. So gotta be careful with them, but for the most part they do tend to work out in your favor. It's just an extra boss item. I'm going to use the Hangman card in here because I know how Zubats work, and they are quite annoying, or they'll just bump us anyway. All right. Yeah, and our movement speed is not terrible, but it's also not great. So this is a full character reroll of just a D4, and I don't think I'm willing to do that. Thing is that, like, again, we paid a lot to get Map Compass. So in my mind, it's really not worth the risk of not getting that amount of value back. You're not guaranteed to get something as good, or at least the equivalent of the Map Compass effect. And those shop items that you reroll into are probably not going to be worth the 30 cents that we put in to make this combo happen. So I don't think that it's wise for us to reroll here. And quality shops here all around. High five, high five. On God, FR, FR. Okay, secret room's probably here. If it ain't there, it's gotta be there. I guess it's to the right of here. Okay. More money. We don't need to bomb the Keeper just because we already have our 100% deal with the Devil Chance. Super Secret Room should be to the left of here. It's hopefully going to be worth our while. But our goal right now is just to hopefully just get a Guppy item and then Diplopia it, and then bingo, bango, bongo. Got ourselves free winnow. Hopefully. Double Soul Heart. It's tempting to Diplopia that, but don't. Of course, we also have Midas Touch, which is going to freeze anything that makes contact damage with Isaac. And the amount of contact damage we deal is based off of how much money we're currently holding on to. And also, if we kill that enemy while they're frozen in gold, then we just get money for that as well, which is kind of nice. Always take down the ad before you go towards Ragmega. You don't really ever want to give him an opportunity to get those ads rolling and overwhelm you. So we get a range upgrade and an angel deal and the Book of Revelations. Hey. All right. So let's go into really sucks that they're not connected unless the secret room is north of the mob trap room. So the bedroom being here is interesting because this allows us to possibly get some HP, some free soul hearts, if and only if we get rid of this red heart. And that is us getting rung up by a Cubone again is just the result of us not being able to kill them faster, and it's just going to keep on happening until we get like more movement speed or damage. So let's stop taking damage from bonies. How about that? Can we do that? Okay, Tech Point 5 is going to help us out in the damage department. Another Hangman. I'm not going to use our bombs yet. See if this is connected by the secret room. Not. Yeah, and our movement speed, or lack thereof, is it is decidedly not Pog right now. Zero Tech Point 5 is going to occasionally fire off a Tech 1 shot at random intervals, and that Tech 1 shot can have a variety of different effects, but at the bare minimum of functionality, it's always going to just fire straight ahead of Isaac, and is a very, very strong carry support item. Take the matchstick for now. We can check to see if there's a crawl space. It's a dirty rug, so it's not going to happen. And as much as I don't want to go into the curse room here and lose a soul heart, we pretty much kind of have to, and yep. So we could have used the fool card, or not fool card, but the Hangman card to get out. Could have used the fool card, not fool card, Hangman card to have gotten into the curse room for half price. But I chose not to because we're probably going to need the flying, and yeah, this is called getting nickeled and dimed down by the game right now. We are getting slightly tapped by like everything in the game right now, and I'm actually kind of on tilt because of this damage. It's inexcusable for the amount of damage we've taken by just happenstance, schmoving, and other. We are not going to make boss rush, unfortunately, which would have been the next possible chance for us to get Diplopia to get any kind of value. But this seems to be a common factor when we're talking about Diplopia, where like we have it and the game just doesn't give us any opportunity to use it, just like giving us a greed fight in another store here, or giving us, you know, single premium item stores, as Repentance loves to do. This is the most moviest greed. All right. Let's dial it back a bit here. We need to get refocused, get our HP back, hopefully get a good devil deal if we can get one here. We're on floor 5, so we're not guaranteed a devil deal here thanks to the XL floor. This is definitely smelling like one of those runs where we're going to start with a guppy item and a little bit of a hope and prayer, and then the game is just going to give us not devil deals, or give us devil deals that don't have anything in them. All these red hearts, unfortunately, are just a total waste. Really hoping that we can get rid of this red heart so we can at least get 3 soul hearts in the bedroom. That would require us to actually get a devil deal. And don't be fooled by Tropicamide. It just makes the tiers bigger. It doesn't make us actually deal more damage. It's one of those items that gives the illusion of having good damage. And we are just going to keep getting clipped here until we get more movement speed and mobility. Yeah. All right. Oh, we max out our tiers at the soft cap. I have no words right now for the amount of damage we're taking. It's like we're failing to dodge these shots by like half of an iota of a pixel. Okay. All right. Let's get up. Let's get up and stretch real quick. Here we go. Stretching. Fun times. Not looking at the Binding of Isaac for a second. Recalibrate the brain. All right. Here we go. Let's do it. I'm going to take Proptosis because we need any kind of damage right now. Even if it's close range, it's still going to benefit us greatly from it's going to benefit us greatly from having Tech Point 5. And right there, I used the iframes that we got from the Demon Judgment to get out of the curse room without it incurring the penalty on our soul hearts. Usually there's a tinted rock in this room. See what's so hard about that? You get a damage up, and you can deal damage to things. What a concept. Having Proptosis and a fully maxed out Tears rate here with Tech Point 5 is going to be quite nice. We're going to be able to dish out a lot of damage close range. Big thing being close range there. I'm actually going to drop the matchstick now because I don't want it to keep continually overriding our chest spawns or possibly even our key spawns. I'm not going to get debated in that. But what we really need is a big time movement speed upgrade. Flying would be nice. We get Mama Mega, so we would actually be able to get into our boss rush room. But it's going to ding our donation machine. Unless we put all of it in there, then it doesn't matter. I mean, it's one detonation on the donation machine. It's not that big of a deal. So we were doing so good at putting the money in the donation machine. Kind of don't want to take any out. But if we're looking to maximize the value of Diplopia here, we need to do that. And part of that is getting Mama Mega. I also don't recall if we ever saw the Fool card. This is definitely not a run that we want to do. We want to do boss rush on, like actually do it. Feeling lucky. It was just gas. So you can see here the difference in our survivability, and we haven't taken a lick of damage since we got Proptosis. And staying safe by way of your damage and your killing power is something I talk about all the time in Isaac. I don't want to have to use Midas Touch here just to get 4 cents. If we're going to bomb the donation machine anyway, we should just bomb it with our bombs. I guess it doesn't really matter because it's going to get bombed by Mama Mega either way. And then we can go back through the level and get into the secret room and super secret room for free. And also find our Fool card because I don't honestly remember where it went. Oh, there it is. Okay. And we should walk through every room because we don't know if that's going to give us a crawl space or not. And it goes for mushrooms and rocks. Tinted rocks, we may have missed skulls, etc., etc. Fires may have dropped us a soul heart if we're lucky. Not every day that we're lucky, but sometimes we do get lucky. Okay, there we go. So we're going to have to get into the boss rush here. And use the Fool card to get out because we can't fight Mom and get a devil deal and also get into the expired boss rush. So, and this is definitely not a Diplopia setting. I mean, we could get spun off of Diplopiaing the virus, but I'm not going to do that. At least it gives us some kind of movement speed. So we've rectified two of the biggest issues right now, which was not having a lot of mobility and not dealing a lot of damage. Now, at the very least, we have a decent amount. It's not like a fully acceptable amount of movement speed, but it's workable. And of course, our damage close up with Proptosis and Tech Point 5 is going to be massive. We like that. Got an Angel deal, of course. Let's stick with the Polaroid on this one. Okay. I know what you're saying. You're saying, hang on, Sinvicta, wait a second now. What were you talking about that damage? That's what the game is saying. So, Sacred Heart and not Polyphemus. Tech Point 5, I don't know why I said Polyphemus, is pretty good. Well, that's what I was going to say. You're probably saying to yourself, hang on, Sinvicta, how come you didn't duplicate that there Sacred Heart with no dang old Diplopia? Well, Cletus, the reason being is because it's actually a full stat downgrade, if you can believe it. 2 Sacred Hearts don't make a good time. Trust me. It is not a good combo. It actually just gives you a tears down, and that's it. So, yeah. And we officially, I think, have probably held on to Diplopia too long. But I can't help it if the game doesn't give me any double deals. And at this point, we might as well just hold on to it for, the chest. I think that would be probably the best spot for it. Get into the curse room for free here. We might as well do so. Of course, we don't have any bombs. We can keep that key. All right. Will we get a double deal? After starting with the Guppy item and having Diplopia. No. The answer's no. Sun card doesn't really matter. I guess we can use it if we get Curse of Darkness on the chest. Trying to bomb my way out of this room, and we don't have any bombs still. You guys see the power of Tech Point 5 there. Actually killing a red blorb. Which is not something that you see very often from just a regular old tier effect. I am going to play this confessional booth because we have the Polaroid. Maybe we'll get a soul heart. Didn't. Yeah. All right, so we have 8 keys, which is good enough to get a full use out of all the chests that we're going to Diplopia inside of the main room here in the chest. Now, this was a common tactic we used to use back in Rebirth and Afterbirth Plus with the Yara rune. And I mean, you can still do that in Repentance. You normally wouldn't want to do it this way, but we held on to Diplopia forever, so, there's that. We are going to get spun here, as well as the Bookworm transformation, so that's good. And we have an absolute trek ahead of us. Now, that was not Kane's Other Eye, that was Glaucoma. I know they look pretty similar. The Sack of Mysteries here. We get Ghost Pepper. So this turns out to be a pretty powerful run, minus minus the first like 5 floors or so. But obviously Sacred Heart definitely drove this one across the border to Fun Town. Not Funky Town, but Fun Town. And honestly, I think the turning point in this run in particular was definitely when we picked up Proptosis. Proptosis plus Tech Point 5 is just so good. You know, having that unlimited range, it just takes you places that you wouldn't be able to go normally. And Tech Point 5 definitely deserves a lot of praise here. So there we go. Down goes Blue Baby. I think just because we kind of flew through that last one at the end there, let's do a greed run. Let's do a fun. What do we want? What do we want? We want a fun greed run. Who'd be fun? Judas is pretty fun. I haven't played Samson in a while. Azazel, eh. Not Jacob and Esau. Yeah, let's do Judas. Just a good old Judas run. Bravo Whiskey 08, Victor Yankee Tango 1. Get Holy Mantle here to start us off, and that's good for Judas because he does start off with 1 HP. 1 H Pizzle. Grab a couple of bombs. And look at this, we're able to get the chest here. Okay, well, I was kind of hoping that we were going to get a key out of that, but we didn't. One more cent, and we can actually get into our item room before the wave. So obviously Judas is going to be great here for damage. We don't need to worry about damage at all on him, essentially, for the early part of the game. Survivability is always, of course, kind of an issue with him. You got to worry about the starting off with 1 HP, but Judas is one of my favorite characters just because of that damage multiplier he gets inherently. And overall, Judas is just a good character. Okay, so I'm going to push this barrel all the way over to this pot and hope that we get a penny out of here. Even though I don't know what's inside the item room, it may be worthwhile to get. Never know. And I wish that we could just have a grab key in this game. Alrighty. I'm gonna use the Book of Belial now. This Book of Belial is actually surprisingly very strong in greed mode, especially if you're playing as Judas, getting that extra damage buff that you can get from him. And every subsequent time that you use the Book of Belial, you're going to gain even more damage. So Judas is a force to be reckoned with in greed. There you go. So we get 1.42 damage every single time that we use the Book of Belial. Now, the kicker with Judas is that obviously, in order for us to maintain the Book of Belial bonus, we have to stay in the room, or lest we lose our bonus, our extra hits that we get on the extra taps. Wow, extra taps that we get on the book. So again, with Judas, survivability becomes an issue, especially if you're only on 1 HP. Now, luckily, we did get Marrow, which is going to help us out in the long run. My God. My God. We are throwing bowling balls right now at Pin. And Old Dookie doesn't have a prayer in this world, let's put it that way. Plus, Judas just looks so freaking metal whenever he uses the Book of Belial. I mean, anyone does, really. Except for, I guess, Lazarus. And the Lost. They don't look metal. Gonna get a little bit of a cheeky tap there. I will go into the Devil Deal just to check it, and we get Tech 1 or hey man. I think you gotta go Tech 1 here, but man, that is a tough choice. Especially when you're talking about greed mode, man. That is a real heartbreaker of a choice there, because they're both excellent. Okay, so let's hold off on buying anything else for now. Okay. Experimental treatment is not what we want, and I will continue to not take it. Sizzle. Gonna buy 2 half-price keys here just to save us the money on the next floor. Oh man, the D6 is very strong, but it's actually not the strongest item in greed, in my opinion. Yeah, we need movement speed horribly. Oh, wow, look at that. Okay, so we can get spun if we take experimental treatment and buy synth oil, which is very good for Tech 1. Yeah, and this is where the power of us having Tech 1 is going to overshadow us possibly having a Thame. And with our damage, I mean, Tech 1's only going to get more potent. Now, if we could just get our tears rate under control, that's a gotta be all she wrote. Okay, so I think what we do is we take synth oil. We go take experimental treatment, even though I don't want to. Hopefully it gives us a tears up. It only took our shot speed down, which actually doesn't matter. And we get the spun transformation, which gives us or we got an HP upgrade from experimental treatment, so yeah, so we're not gonna have the Book of Belial here. Again, it's a little bit of a risk to not use or to not have the Book of Belial in this room, like, because obviously we walked out, so we reset the bonus, but I think it was worth it. Double black monstro. We had double black gurgling and now double black monstro. I mean, just imagine a higher tears rate right now. Yep, so we are going to get Tech 1 and the Book of Belial for this Devil Deal. Or at least Devil Deal fight, anyway. Got a 3rd black champion in a row. Oh, man. Don't do this to me, game. What are you doing? Golly. Man, what do you do in this spot? I mean, just amazing Devil Deal items. I'm gonna go Maw the Void because we have enough movement speed right now to facilitate us being a little aggressive. But golly, that's a difficult choice. I almost took Backstabber because we have Tech 1, but it's hard to pass up Maw. Okay, we get the soul. It's really unfortunate that we haven't had enough HP to get all the Devil Deals that we want. Really, really unfortunate. mean, 4.5 volt and greed is real strong. It may not be the best, like, Book of Belial synergy, but it's the best, like, any other synergy that we have, especially if we end up getting something that, like, allows us to get soul hearts. And passing up Backstabber with Tech 1, though, is just brutal. So is passing up, honestly, passing up a Thame. Now we're shooting the big boy beam here. And, I mean, even Lusty Blood is just so strong in greed mode. Oh my god, thank you, Soul. In a weird way, we kind of have a Thame here with Maw of the Void. Ah, see, this is where you lost me. This is where you lost me here, game. I'm not taking Eye of the Occult. Do a cheeky little reroll. Sure, why not? Well, now I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen anyway, but all I know is it's about to get crazy, y'all. About to get crazy. Just give me a good Tears upgrade. Or hell, give me Soy Milk. I'll take Soy Milk. See, these are not Tears upgrades. Although we can get into the Curse Room for free thanks to Tooth and Nail. It's also not a Tears upgrade. Game. The sound you hear is Tooth and Nail going off, even though you can't see it happen. Tech 1.5 and Tech 1, yeah, sign me up. We had Tech 1.5 in the Eden run, so it stands to reason that we would see it again here in Greed. Now remember, we have the 4.5 volt now, which is going to erase the ability of us to gain full charges by way of simply clearing waves. But we gain full charges now by dealing damage. So at the beginning, it's going to be harder for us to deal as much damage as we were, but as our damage ramps up, our ability to generate full charges will also ramp up, thereby increasing the longevity of our buff. And actually, we're going to get more net gain out of these buffs here than we previously would have just without the 4.5 volt. And I do think that Maw of the Void was the correct decision here. See, you see how much more taps we're getting here with the Book of Belial. I don't know how both of you monsters are still alive. I mean, they're... Oof. I think we gotta take... We can take both of them here. That is going to be a decent damage up. Not crazy, but we are gaining a DPS up, and now we are in no danger at all. And using the iframes here from Tooth and Nail to get through the curse room for free. Now we're heavily incentivized to continue to re-roll here in the shop until we find something that we really want. The screw is a huge tears up. Absolutely massive tears up. So I'm going to go for that. Okay. Charge up Maw of the Void, and then we're off. You see our killing power here. It only goes higher and higher. That was cute, game. Very cute. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you can see the chunkage whenever Tech Point 5 pops off, along with our regular tiers. And we get a black rune. Hey, look, we turn Trisagion into something useful. Okay. Isaac's Tomb we don't really need. Again, a massive tiers upgrade. And a little bit of money. I think we should re-roll this shop because we don't know. We're not guaranteed to get a re-roll on the next floor. There's no way for us to get 15 cents. We don't have any bombs. We would have to buy this bomb and pray that 2 dimes drop or get a quarter out of these pots. I mean, it was worth a chance, right? Like you can't blame a guy for trying. Magic Mush and the Halo, good lord. Okay. All right. Well, we may not have a lot of HP right now, but we're about to have a lot of money. Yeah, we're starting with 3 cents. Let's see what a counterfeit penny influenced floor and greed can make for us. Starting with this floor with 3 cents. And we were just gunning them down here with Tech 1 and Tech Point 5. Only 35 cents, which is actually kind of surprising. We end up getting only 43 cents out of that. I mean, SMB Superfan isn't all stats up. See there, it didn't kill us because it's an HP up as well. Quintuple Little Horn in a curse room. from simply hitting 2 buttons. Okay, game. No. Fizzing Magic Mush is devastating. I'm gonna take the tears up. Mom's perfume, and yeah, we're gonna have to do this. We're just gonna have to beast mode this on 2 HP, which is a lot easier said than done. I'm gonna be honest. I will take. I'm gonna take Holy Grail just because it does give us HP. So we have 3 HP here. Maybe we can get a cheeky Soul Heart. Okay. All right, yeah, we're gonna have to do this on 3 HP, which is, I mean, honestly, it's not impossible, but it's gonna be a little bit tricky, a little bit tricky. Looking for 1 Soul Heart game. And if I could only get the Glowing Hourglass. All right, here we go. Oh, there's Dendron Rock there. I didn't even see it. All right. Obviously, this is not the fight that we're worried about. This is the fight that we're kind of worried about. And given the wonky hitboxes of Ultra Greed, you just never know, man. We cannot reliably depend upon Maw of the Void here. But this is where having 4.5 volt and Eye of Belial is really going to help us out. And Tech Point 1, Tech Point 5, and Tech 1, of course. Slow and steady wins the race here. And you see the constant taps on the Book of Belial. It does have diminishing returns, but we're still gaining damage, and that's the big thing. There we go. So we did take 1 hit against the coin flip, but hey, you know what? We did good. So thank you for watching this special dual run with your Extra Greed run. Thank you, everybody, for all the support. I'm happy we hit the like streak goal. Let me know in the comments down below for the question of the episode here. What's your take on the reaction like streak goal? No, I'm just kidding. I know some people are kind of like, it's kind of lame, but I also know that some people are looking forward to it. So what do you think the next like streak goal is going to be? That is a real question of the episode here. Post them in the comments down below. The top 3 most upvoted comments will be read on next week's episode. And as always, I'll see you all next time. Until then, so long, everybody. Thanks for watching this video. Thanks to patrons of mine like Luke, Brittany Conyers, and Daniel Lynch. If you'd like to have your name read at the end of an Isaac episode, check out my Patreon campaign, which you can find at patreon.com/Sinvicta.